A esta hora te conectas a una sola radio. Este es el sistema de emisoras Onda Digital en Colombia. Radio virtual, hecha por jóvenes, pensada por universitarios. Sistema de estaciones Onda Digital, un concepto diferente.
Welcome back to our podcast Diaspora, where we talk about immigration. My name is Zabib Naguse. I'm an English teaching assistant here at UCC.
And my name is Enrique Cuella, English teacher here at the university too. And we have today a very interesting topic, no?
Mm-hmm.
Accents.
Accents.
Oh.
And to begin our episode, I have a little clip. I have a meme from Carol G where she talks about talking in English. Everybody listen.
En el video dice, oh my God, this is so amazing. I am super happy, wow. Y yo decía, pero yo por qué te...
So Carol G is talking about how she talks like a paisa, even in English. And I thought that was very funny. It's a very popular meme. And she was saying how she can't change her accent even when she's talking in English. I think that's very interesting.
Could we hide our accent? What do you think?
I think you can hide your accent. I think it's hard. Okay. In Spanish, I cannot hide my accent. I'm going to have an accent.
I have thought about that because maybe you have to be like aware about that. Yeah, you have to be like conscious, like to change a little bit the tone of your voice. Yeah, those words that sometimes are like always the same. Yeah, but could we hide that? Yeah, like sound differently. Yeah, that maybe people say, no, but where are you? I don't know where are you because your accent is like different.
I think it depends on if we're talking about in the same language. For example, me speaking in English, I can change my accent pretty easily. For example, I can have a southern accent and I can talk like this and I can talk however I want and talk about molasses. It's very easy for me.
I imagine you with a horse, like, you know, you are tying
in the
a horse.
countryside. I can do a British accent too. If the people would like to hear, would you like to hear my British accent?
Yeah, I think so. Like, how do you sound like a British?
When I talk like someone from the UK, I really like to lean into how they talk over there in their own island. And okay, I'm gonna stop.
It sounds different. But look that, yeah, because sometimes here we just we don't recognize that language, whatever language we are talking about, it has its own like accents and different accents. Yes. Like
and
here in
natural,
Colombia.
right?
Yeah, like here in Colombia. How many accents do we have?
Oh my God, so many accents. And I did not know until I came here. I did not realize.
You have traveled a lot here in Colombia,
yes, I
no?
have.
Yeah. How many accents did you...
I heard?
Yeah, have you heard?
Even in Medellin, I can tell if somebody's from Chocó. I can tell if somebody's from Cali, if someone's talking very paisa, if someone's from the Atlantic coast. I think those are the accents I can do, those accents.
And what happened in your country? Did you recognize when people live, I don't know, in California, New York, yes, in the South? I think that the South part, maybe it's like, it's more easy, yeah? It's easier to recognize that those people that talk in that way. But what about like in the center, yeah, in the center of the country, or maybe in the north? What about those accents?
I think, okay, I can tell, it depends, honestly. Every person adapts, or every person has a different degree of the accent. Some people you can tell are from the South. Some people you can tell are from California. If they talk like, oh my God, with the crack in the voice, and they're always talking so lazy. It's very annoying. It's so annoying. I hate it. But I think people from big cities all kind of sound the same in the United States.
Like people in New York. Yeah. I have heard that people in New York talks differently from
But I think
other
they're
places.
losing their accent. New York does have a very specific accent, but kind of like we talked about with Medellin.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people from so many parts of the world, New York doesn't really have, hey, I'm walking it, like that accent that they used to have.
But I told you that before, that maybe here in Medellin we have like lose our accent, yeah, because we have many people from many like different places that have lived here for a long period of time, and maybe yes, the accents start like mixing, and sometimes we don't recognize our own accent here. Yes, we say okay, we in Medellin people talk like paisa, yes. But I think that now it's not that way. I think it's a little bit different. Yes.
It's changed, and
It
that's a very
changed.
natural part of migration.
Yes. Like
Everything's
the mixing.
changing all the time. Nothing is staying the same, which is a beautiful thing as well.
But I always have thought that changes are great. Changes are good. And maybe if we are different, yes, we have like, or we got like different things from different cultures, that's good too. No? Okay, but I have like a question. Maybe we can talk about, yeah, like accent, but look this. Does your accent say something about you? What do you think about that, Sebi?
That's a very good question. I think an accent says a lot about you. If you have a more neutral accent, it means, well,
You're gonna be less like judge?
yes. I think it tells you who you hang around with. Who are you with the majority of the time? If you have a very Paisa accent, people use the word nea a lot here. It's
Yes.
supposed to say something about where you come from, who you hang out with, what you like to do. In the United States as well, if you have a very marked accent, people assume that you haven't maybe traveled as much, that you spent most of your life in the same place, and things like that. What do you think?
I don't know, but you said one word, okay, nea. But what about parce? Because parce is just is not a word that I think that word was born here, yes. But I think now that word is like around the world. Many people is using that word without being like Colombian, without being paisa. Yeah, I think that they think, or maybe they feel like a connection with that kind of words, and they just use it. Yes.
People here, when they hear me using the slang from here, they tell me that they feel like they laugh. One time people kept laughing and I was like, why do you keep laughing at me when I'm using the slang from here? And they're like, no, I'm not laughing at you. It's just, I feel proud. I feel nice to know that you are learning from my culture, that you are picking up things that we say. They say it makes them feel very proud, at least the people I've talked to.
But maybe sometimes trying to use in those words, maybe people have like, but you are like weird doing that, why you do that, or why you say that way. If you,
Maybe.
Yeah, no. Sometimes the things that we have to like take and make part of our dialogues and things, maybe are like forced. No, don't you think?
Forced?
Yes.
How so?
Like if you are trying to be part of the culture, be part of the city, and you are trying to use words that maybe are not your words, yes, and you look like a weird person, yes, because you are trying to use something that it doesn't fit you. I think so.
Yeah, I think in the United States, a lot of people, because music made by Black people, by African Americans in the United States is very popular. And obviously in music, if African Americans are making music, they're going to use words that Black people use. And because of that, people across the United States are starting to use it, even if they're not from like Black communities, even if they haven't heard them their whole life. They kind of use accents to make themselves feel cooler, to feel maybe part of a culture that they're not really a part of.
Yes, maybe you get like the opposite, like the opposite thing about that. Yeah, you want to be included, but actually you get like separated because of you. I don't know. Yeah, could happen. But look, I have another question about accent. Yeah, does your accent make you sound smarter,
Yeah.
intelligent?
I do. I think it does. unfortunately, I wish it wasn't like this, but I do think people judge you based on your accent. I think one term I wanted to talk about here was code switching. And code switching means changing your way of speaking based on the context that you're in and using different words based on who you're with. It's a very natural thing to do. I do it all the time. But for this question, I would say a lot of people code switch when they're in professional settings, when they're having a job interview, and they make their accent maybe a little less marked or
like polite. No?
Yeah, like
yes, you have to treat people in a different way, or maybe in the way that you want to be like treated. Yes. Sometimes I think that if you think that you're gonna go like job appointment and you are being the cool guy in the corner, yes, with your friends, and you want to treat the people in the meeting in the same way, maybe you are in a wrong place.
Yeah.
You have to change. Yeah, you have to switch a little bit your words, your accent even, because sometimes in that kind of meetings we have to like give the best impression. Yes. And the best impression sometimes is not with the or you can give that best impression with the words that you like usually use in your daily like speech. I don't know.
It's interesting that to have a neutral accent is giving the best impression, or at least in the United States. To have a Midwestern accent is what we call it, is like the most professional. And I would say outside of that context, I code switch all the time as well. For example, in Colombia, when I'm speaking English with people, I don't say the same words that I say with my brother, my sister, or my friends back home. Like
you talk differently here.
I talk so differently here because I know people won't understand me if I talk the way I usually talk in the United States. Or at least it's very difficult to find someone who would understand all my slang, all like the way in which I talk, the speed in which I use. And I was noticing it when my brother and sister came to visit me. The English I spoke with them.
They told you that why, Sabid, you are speaking like differently. Yeah, why you don't talk with us like in the way that we used to?
They didn't say that because I switched my code when I was with them. And I like the English I used with them when I was hanging out with them versus the English I was using at school with students, a lot more neutral, a lot slower.
It's slower.
Yeah.
And maybe without like reductions. Yes, because I think that sometimes when you are talking with with your family, with your sister and brother, maybe you use like a lot of reductions that maybe the our ear here, yes, is not like so like comfortable. I don't know. We don't get it.
Yeah, people are like, huh? And to avoid
what do you mean? Maybe saying a word that we know, but you say it in a different way, a little bit. Yes.
And that messes me up all the time in Spanish too. When people talk to me in Spanish, I know they're using a more simple Spanish than they would usually use because they know I wouldn't understand it. So, yeah.
But sometimes we don't recognize that, like that switch that we actually do in our own language.
Really?
Yes, because talking about Spanish, sometimes when we are talking with people, like close people, we use a lot of words that we don't use with people who talks another language. Yes, but talking about the same. Yeah, sometimes maybe it's not the appropriate language. Sometimes like the meaning or the words are not like understandable. Yeah, because I think that sometimes we maybe in English too, we use a lot of like bad words. Yeah, but not like in a bad way.
Yeah.
But we introduce a lot of bad words in our speech. But not when we are talking it like a different language. No, when we feel comfortable with our
that's the key.
With our language, we use a lot of, how do you say that? Like those bad words, like
when we feel comfortable, we use bad words, cuss words, stuff like that. For sure. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. But I had a lot of fun talking about accents.
I have something here that makes me like think about it, yeah, because sometimes accent talks about categorization too, no? How we can talk about that? Imagine that you're gonna be like categorized by the way in which you speak, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I think you told me once that sometimes different Spanish speakers don't understand each other sometimes because Spanish is so different across the world.
Yeah, it happens. It happens to me once in La Costa. I was there talking with my with my brother, my wife. We are like trying to make a plan to go to a place, but we didn't like know how. And there was like a waiter beside us, and he immediately, when he listened to us, he said, "De lo que necesita un guía." And when he said that, it was like we thought that he was talking like a different language because we didn't get it immediately. But after we start thinking, what is he doing? What is he saying? Yeah. Ustedes lo que necesitan es un guía. Oh my Lord. Yeah. It was that. Yeah. And that happens, no? That happens in all language. Yeah. Sometimes people speak like the same language, but maybe with different accent, different words that we don't understand. Yeah.
Which is cool. I love that.
Yes, I love accents too. Yeah, it will be great to like having the possibility to talk like, I don't know, like someone else.
Yeah.
Maybe
and learning from
imitating
their
or doing
accent.
that. That's funny. Yeah. Maybe you can be like the one that makes the party funny.
Oh, for example, I was with my friend last night, and he told me that sometimes people from Medellin call policemen los aguacates. And I started laughing so hard. I was like, los aguacates, why? And he was like, obviously the police are green, so they're aguacate.
Yeah, they were green. But now, no, they changed. Yeah, they changed the uniform. But it was green, and everyone here, yeah, know him like the green, like, but it doesn't sound like so catchy. Yeah, it will change. Yeah, because it's like verde, aguacate, aguacate verde. Yes.
And accents change over time too. So, yeah, I think that's all the time that we have for today. But thank you for listening, everybody out there. My name is Aviv Neguse, and we'll see you later.
And my name is Enrique Cuellar. I hope that you like this podcast talking about migrations and interesting things that we like. Bye.
Bye.
A esta hora te conectas a una sola radio. Este es el sistema de emisoras Onda Digital en Colombia. Radio virtual, hecha por jóvenes, pensada por universitarios. Sistema de estaciones Onda Digital, un concepto diferente.